Hello and welcome to Alex Cooks, the #1 cooking show of YouTube. Now, what shall we be cooking today? Well, we shall be cooking some pheasant and bacon pie. Yes, indeed. And chestnuts as well, I almost forgot. Pheasant, bacon and chestnut pie. Delicious, I know, sounds great. Let's get to ingredients. Now. Okay, so to make pheasant, chestnut and bacon pie, you shall require some 150 grams of mindless, streaky bacon rashers, cut into 1.5 centimeter pieces. 1 tablespoon of sunflower oil. 1 medium onion, chopped. 1 celery stick, sliced. 4 skinless pheasant breasts, about 440 grams each cut into 4 pieces. Yes, and you're wondering why does it all look covered in fat and stuff? Well, you see, these were freshly killed pheasants that my good family friend of ours bought for us. Thank you, man. So yesterday I went on over to his house where he provided a demonstration of him skinning these pheasants and cutting the breasts, ready for cooking. As you can see there's still a bit of fat on one of these. Anyway, I'm very excited to actually cook with these, indeed. And the video for this is at the end of the video. Anyway, proceeding on with the ingredients. 1 bay leaf, 200 grams of vacuum packed cooked chestnuts, 2 garlic cloves crushed, 100 milliliters of red or possibly white wine, 3 tablespoons of plain flour, 200 milliliters of chicken stock made of half a chicken stock cube, 2 tablespoons of double cream, flake sea salt, freshly ground black pepper. Now to make the pastry, the puff pastry, 375 grams of ready rolled puff pastry sheet, plain flour for rolling, and a beaten egg to glaze. And look at this, we also have a pie dish which is about 1 litre, holds about 1 litre stuff. Indeed, let's get cooking. Right, so because this is a very quick cooking process that we are about to undertake, we have actually already prepared all the ingredients beforehand. The pheasant breasts have all been cut into 4 pieces each. The bacon has been cut into 1.5 centimeter pieces. The flour has been brought out, and the garlic's been crushed. The wine and the stock have been measured. The onions and celery have been sliced, and the chestnuts have also been sliced to make a bit of space. Now, everything is pretty much ready to go because we really have to move quick now. Let's get on this show going. So to begin with, we have our frying pan, which we don't have any oil in yet. So we're going to scoop in all the bacon pieces, and we cook it for about 3 minutes until the bacon is all golden and crisp. Just going to give it a stir. So our bacon has been frying for 3 to 4 minutes. We're now going to add in our oil and the onion and celery. There we go. Then we're going to fry this for another 4 to 5 minutes until softened and lightly brown. And we should stir regularly throughout this process. So add the pheasant and the bay leaf to the pan And we're going to fry this for about 1.5 minutes, turning the pheasant in the pan. It is imperative that you don't fry any longer than this, because the pheasant will then be cooked again in the oven and you won't want it to become too dry. And also after that, season well with salt and pepper. Now we are seasoning with the salt and the pepper right now, and immediately after this we must then put in the chestnuts, garlic and the red wine to the pan, and allow them to bubble furiously for a few seconds. Sprinkle the flour into the pan once you've allowed it to bubble, and stir it through the pheasant and vegetables until they are lightly coated, not coated. Don't want any coats forming in this pan. There we go. Wonderful. Now we have taken our pan off the heat, and we are going to add in stir in the chicken stock, scraping the bottom of the pan to lift the sediment and the sticky juices. And if you are using, and also put in your cream once you have stirred in the chicken stock. Yes, indeed. And then spoon the mixture into the pie dish and leave to cool for about 30 minutes before adding the crust, or the heat could cause the pastry to sink onto the filling. So our filling is now ready, and we are now going to spoon it all into the pie dish, and then we're going to leave it to cool for about 30 minutes once this is done. Right, so our pie dish has now been chilling for about 30 minutes now, and we preheat that oven to 200 degrees Celsius. And we've also laid out our pie pastry on a floured surface. Right, so now we are cutting strips of pastry off about 1 centimetre wider than the pie dish right here. There we go, we're just going to do that. Okay, we're just going to like take 2 of these off, I'm guessing, or more. I don't know how this is going and I'm excited. So I've now beaten my egg, and we're going to brush this around the edge of the pie dish. I've also cut 3 strips of puff pastry off in the end. So now we are going to lay these strips on top of the pie dish. We're doing this so that the rest of the pastry acts as a support, so it doesn't start touching the filling. So we've squished the edges of the rim pastry together, and we're going to now brush egg on this all around the rim. So now we're lifting the main body of the pastry onto the top of the pie. We're going to press down the edges nice and firmly. So now we are going to trim off the excess pastry from around the sides of the tin. You can either use scissors or a sharp knife to accomplish this. So we now put our edges together, smush them together. I'm going to prick some holes in the top of the pastry so the steam can escape. Now we're going to brush the top with egg, make it nice and golden when it goes in the oven. Once we have finished brushing the top of this pie with egg, we're going to put it into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes until the topping is golden brown and the filling is hot. So our pie is now out of the oven. I'm just going to let it chill for about 10 minutes before I serve it up for the taste test. Righto then, taste test time. The food is now out of the oven. It all looks decent. This looks decent too. Got a bit of pheasant here. Time to put it in my mouth and have a wonder what it tastes like. It's very different from all the other birds, like in texture, in flavour. It's a rather unctuous flavour, if that's the description. I do like it. It's probably helped by the red wine, the bacon, the bay leaf and the chestnuts. But yes, it's a pretty good dish, it seems. Another culinary success from my kitchen. And thank you, Kim Fell, for giving us this here pheasant meat. Anyway, we're now going to take you over to the video of him actually skinning and preparing the pheasants, the processing. So we are now here in my neighbour Kim Fell's garage slash slaughterhouse, and today he's going to do a demonstration on how to skin a pheasant so it is ready for cooking. Would you like to take it from here, Kim?
Right, first of all we'll take the feet off.
Okay. Ooh, that's a crunch.
Them sinews.
Yeah.
Now, normally we pluck them, but plucking can take a long time. If you're using it for a casserole,
Yeah.
it wants to be skinned anyway. This is the way we do them.
Ooh. I mean,
Now the red marks there, Alex, is where it got shot. So it got shot on one side and not the other.
yes. Could you explain where you got this pheasant from?
This pheasant was shot at Bank Hall, Bretherton, on
Yes.
Saturday. It's been hung for 2 days, which will be sufficient. Some people like them hanging longer. I feel they taste too gamey. What we're going to do is just run the knife down the breast.
Okay. So I almost smell egg, almost, coming from this.
No, that's just the inside gas
Oh,
that comes from a bird that's been hung up for a couple of days. It's absolutely nothing to worry about. It's
yeah, almost
perfectly natural.
It's sulphur, I'm guessing.
Similar.
Okay. We're just gonna
So
put
there we have one breast
one breast there.
into the pot.
Looks quite delicious.
Nothing better than a seasonal game stew.
Very true. Oh, I believe I see one of it. I see one of its organs here. Would that be the kidney?
That's the liver, Alex.
Oh.
The gizzard, sorry, the gizzard there. The gizzard.
Oh,
I'm sure it won't be needing them now.
yeah, of course. You know, like it's not like it's going down to the pub anytime in the near future.
No. Right, so here we have 2 breasts. One has got a bit of shot in it. It's the shot's travelled through it, so you won't be chewing lead. If you've got enough pheasants here that if you preferred that one to be cooked for the cat, you can.
Okay.
And there we have a lovely undamaged breast. Now, my wages for doing the job are the thighs. I shall take the thighs, wrap them in bacon, and do a nice little roast for myself. Unless
It's quite a sound idea, you know.
now the drumsticks on a pheasant are full of sinews and tendons. So what I tend to do is cut them off and boil them up for a stray cat that we have that comes and visits.
Hey.
And the thighs I shall use myself. For the cat, for the butcher.
Indeed.
One carcass in the bin.
So now Kim is now going to show a second method of how to skin and prepare a pheasant's carcass for cooking. Do you want to? Yes, okay.
So we're going to skin this one, Alex, as you are using it, I believe, for a winter dish other than roasting. If you wanted it roasting, we would have plucked it, but that does take quite a while. Here we have a very heavily shot one.
There seems to be a lot of yellow stuff there.
Now the yellow is on a hen bird is a good sign. It's been fed well, and it's the fat.
Oh, it's the fat?
Yes, that is a very nice, healthy looking bird.
Well, aside from the fact that it's dead, you know.
Well, we're looking at it from a healthy point of view for eating. There is very little cholesterol in game birds, very little cholesterol. So for anybody as old as your dad or myself, it's a perfect diet because we're not taking on board a lot of cholesterol.
Yes. Anyway, seems to be.
So it's parting company with its breast here.
Indeed, yes. Appears that the bullet seems to be in the breast that's still attached.
No, the lead's gone through, Alex. It's gone through. It's in the cavity there. There's a nice breast in there.
Yeah.
This breast I would possibly reject, only on the fact that it's been heavily hit. And it won't get wasted because we can cook it up for the stray cat that comes on a regular basis for a free meal.
What is a stray cat called, by the way?
Oh, we call it stray cat.
Oh.
Because we haven't got a name for it. I believe the wife calls it Annie.
Annie.
As in orphan Annie.
Aye, hard knock life indeed.
Now, the thighs.
Okay, let me just get a zoom in.
We'll take the thighs off. I'm very partial to the thighs. I like them wrapped in bacon and roasted.
Now that does sound like an idea.
You'll find that the drumstick is full of sinews, so what we tend to do is cook that for orphan Annie, the cat.
I mean, very generous towards this orphan Annie the cat.
Well, it just turned up one day and that was it. It was shouting for some food, so it got fed.
What do you... Sorry.
Nothing should go hungry this day and age, Alex.
Very true indeed. I keep saying very true indeed. I probably should get a penny for every time I say that because I'll be rich by this point. Anyway, yeah, so what do you do with the rest of the body that isn't used?
This occasion, I will be binning it. It will go through to a proper waste disposal contractor who disposes of offal and the such. But ordinarily, given the time, I could easily boil it up for the dogs, although the bones are very brittle. And in the past, we have used it for other jobs, such as feeding wild animals such as foxes and that, but we best leave that one.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that I like to be waiting for the fox when he comes to eat it.
Right.
And that one's in the offal bin. We cut it just there, Alex, because there's a joint, and as you could just see then the knife went through it like a hot knife through butter. Right on the joint. Orphan Annie's bit, the butcher's bit. Would you like some keeping for a roast dish for your mother and father?
Well,
I've got ample there. We've got more pheasants to do.
So where exactly did these pheasants come from?
I believe these ones were hatched possibly at High Fly at Pilling, and then reared by Brian Kerwin at Sandholm Mill at Clyton-on-Brock, who will have then, at 6 weeks of age, sold them on to the gamekeeper at Bank Hall, which is where they spent the rest of their life up until
shooting day.
The shooting season started.
Hi, and oh,
that was a little piece of lead, that, Alex. I should have maybe kept it for you.
Yeah. So would you say how these pheasants were raised? I mean,
well, first of all, they have to have heat lamp when they're day old and born, and they get chick crumbs for the first 2 weeks. Then they go on to a rearing, a concentrate for rearing to help produce good strong bones. Then after that they go on to game maintainer, and then when they're released they're put on, as you can see here, I've just opened the crop up, they're put on wheat, and that's what this chap's eaten this morning before he got shot. He's had a really nice last meal of quality Bershka wheat.
It looks, if I was a bird, I'd say that was delicious looking.
Well, he thought the same.
Yes. So I mean, at least he didn't die hungry and all.
Oh, he didn't die hungry, Alex. And you know, without shooting, Alex, there'd be no pheasants in this country.
Would there not?
No, because farmers won't tolerate something eating something that they should be feeding to their own livestock.
Yes.
The margins on farming are tight enough. So, and it's nice to see a pheasant walking around the countryside.
Yeah, very true indeed. You know, I mean.
And you know, for everyone that's shot, 2's got away.
Yeah. You know, I mean, they can give you quite a shock as well when you're wandering along a country road and suddenly one pheasant explodes from the bush on the roadside.
And the males, which we call cockbirds, they can be very, very noisy when they're coming off the roost, or if you disturb them they give out a loud shriek, whereas the hen birds are very quiet and just slink away.
Yes. Well, is there anything else you would like to add about these birds? Any interesting information?
I would like to see more people eating game, as it's very high in protein, very low in cholesterol, and it would support the country economy as well as giving a good diet.
Yes, you know, so it's healthy and also helps with the nation, you're saying.
Absolutely, Alex.
Right.
Absolutely.
Nice.